Hi family, welcome to Crystalline Codes. I'm Maura Moth, and today I wanted to talk about the pandemic, we'll say. I don't want to actually say the word too many times just so that this video comes out, but I want to give you my take on it because on my Facebook I've just been having a lot of people post stuff that I don't know, it frustrates me. It's good, like it's all awareness, it's all coming together, like whichever side you're on, you know, it's a part of the duality that this construct is. So we'll leave that where it is. Okay, so first I think it's very interesting that it all came about right after the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which is super major, as well as we had like a very intense Cancerian eclipse that was all about like releasing like immense like shadow energy, immense like darkness to be like looked at, nurtured, healed. And I think that's a lot of what the Saturn-Pluto conjunction was about. Power and the unconscious shadow coming out and things really being shaken up, mixed up. You know, like the lake's mud is really murky type thing. But the thing is, the lake is totally clean. It's just when the murk on the bottom, the residue gets moved around, that it then, becomes murky. And so I think this is all divinely orchestrated, as it all is. And so, if you think about it, like, COVID is like a reflection of that inner shadow wound, that rejection of a side of ourselves. If you think about it, it's like the rejection of our shadow inner child, the inner child that was told that, that's inappropriate, or that's childish, or that's incorrect, basically. It's the rejected side. And so I think it's really relevant that this would all come up the way that it did. Now, without going into, like a super out there conspiracy, like theory interpretation, I do feel like COVID is man-made, and I think its intention was to repress and manipulate us. And I think it's the puppet show that's been happening, especially with the media, to ultimately distract us from what's really going on, that the shadow that's moving the murky water behind the scenes. It's almost like, hey, like, look up here on the dock at this, like, this performance. Meanwhile, the waters are, like, all shooken up. So things are going to come to the surface, especially in September, August and September, and November and December are going to be like, part of that has to do with the Gemini Sagittarius axis, as well as some other retrogrades coming to an end. So, keep an eye out for that, like especially with the elections. And so my take on it is that the masks are a reflection of, people hiding, protecting themselves from other people's shadows. So I actually see like people that wear masks as I don't know, puppets, or like people that are part of the puppet show, part of the parade, the party, the whatever. And it's not like, you know, I get it, like, completely. Like, you want to be respectful and protect other people. And, you know, honestly, I felt that way for a long time. And then I realized just the connection between 5G and COVID, and how just the way the virus works is very like electronic, like electromagnetic frequency stuff. And the fact that Organite went illegal like a year or so ago, and then this all comes about, is really fascinating. And Organite is really beneficial for pulling out the EMF frequencies. Honestly, yeah, it's really suggested that you get a piece of shungite or organite. They're both really great for purifying your laptop or your phone or your TV, anything electronic, and especially you, like pulling out those toxins. Because in my opinion, the more ungrounded and the more you are anchored in to the density that is happening right now, right? So it's like the shadow side has always been this dense. Now it's coming to the surface. And so it's like, you know, not a lot goes on when the lake is calm. You don't see much of it. But it's still, you know, the murk is still there. It's just settled on the bottom. And so the murk is shaking up right now and moving around. And so I do suggest being really grounded in yourself before you leave the house, before you leave your bed, you know? Like, even when you're first waking up, just like saying positive affirmations for yourself, drinking water, you know, if you're into it, even get some frankincense and, you know, put some on your third eye and your crown chakra spots, the back of your head, right behind your third eye, and the top up here. I also do my throat and my heart chakra, you know, these meridian centers, because I feel like they're the ones that are most vulnerable. I mean, sometimes I even do all of them, because the lower chakras do deal with 3D and fear and, you know, sexuality and all of that. So doing some like nice essential oil stuff, meditating, like very first will have a profound effect on the consciousness that you move from the rest of the day. And so the whole point of this is, you know, there's a spiritual war happening, and you want your spiritual armor on. And the new armor cannot be like the old armor, you know, the 3D medieval times, wearing all this really heavy metal, which is ironic. Heavy metal, huh? All the puns. This heavy metal, which is funny because of, you know, like metals and like the metallic toxins and whatever. But, you know, taking that armor off and putting on, you know, like a light, vibrant white light of like protection and like intention. Protection, intention, and direction. Like you're directing like love and peace and awareness and compassion. these red ants, though. That's so relevant. Yeah, if you think about it, the collective is kind of like a bunch of ants just like running around. And that's the thing, is when you're not, this is totally, it just came through that ant, so thank you, Yumi. When you're ungrounded, you're more easily a puppet. You're more easily manipulated for the agenda of the higher ups. They're higher up, but not in frequency. You know, it's very dualistic in that way. So I wanted to talk about all of that, and, you know, just to suggest, like, meditate, do yoga, eat well. What you're eating and drinking is extremely important, you know. This is your avatar in this game. And if you think of it like Sims, like, if you don't take care of something, everything else goes out of balance. So, drinking pure alkaline water. I like spring water. In particular, I get some from my grandpa's. The Fiji water is good. Whatever, you know, your best version. You could always get a purifier. Look those up online. Do some research. If you're in like an urban area and you can't, you know, drink the water, don't drink purified water whenever possible, because that calcifies your pineal gland and it blocks your meridians. It's no good. Even your digestion. Well, think about it. There's just like so many chemicals in it. And then also like diet organic food whenever possible. And, you know, so many people always say like organic is so much more expensive, but remember, you know, your health is indispensable. If your health goes under, you're more likely to get the virus, right? You're more likely to be in the lower dimension. So it all pays out in the end, and you're abundant. You're worthy of, you know, all of these basic human rights, like human like necessities that every human should have access to, and eventually will, and when the new earth, you know, continues to blossom. I think it's already here. It's just, it needs to come out of budding and into blossoming, and will continue to for the next, you know, few years, especially the next 6 with the Uranus and Taurus vibes going on. So my camera's about to die, but I just kind of wanted to share all of this and give you my perspective. Nature is another incredible grounding tool, healing tool, and not just a tool, because she is our mama, and we're so blessed to have her, and we would be nothing without her. So, you know, that's another thing, is gratitude and respect for everything going on right now, knowing that the bigger picture will unfold so positive and miraculous as all of, you know, the muck settles. It needed to come out. It needed compassion. It needs love. It needs support. It needs grace. Because essentially all of this on some level is a reflection of our programming, is a reflection of our trauma and our beliefs. And as we do that inner work, it will begin to dissipate, and maybe even more than dissipate, it will alchemize, integrate, you know, will transmute that energy. So lots of love. If you're interested, I'll talk more about it. That's what I have for today. I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the seconds and minutes and seconds of this video. Lots and lots of love. I really like recording in this place. This is totally impromptu. So, you know, take care of you first so that you can really be grounded in your life purpose and help many. You know, our family is suffering and our family is thriving. It's all about the perspective. It's all about, you know, your consciousness. sometimes you gotta feel to heal, and there's some gaping wounds that, they need to breathe. And it's good stuff. It's so good. It seems horrific right now, but we'll be able to heal now, and that is all we could ever hope for and ask for. We signed up for this. We're equipped, So keep playing the game by being beautiful you. And, have compassion. Okay. Remember, babes, love never goes to waste. I loved you. Ciao. One last thing I forgot to mention. The reason that you, put the frankincense on the crown chakra and the lower chakras, is because of the whole name of the coronavirus. Like, La Corona means like the head, and so, or the crown, excuse me. And so if you think about it, our crown is like our inner strength, it's like our confidence, but it's also, in terms of chakras, where we receive messages from the collective. Oh, and there's a bird flying overhead right now. It's where we receive our messages. And so, essentially, the point of the coronavirus, in my opinion, is to cut off that connection from us to spirit, to keep us oppressed in the 3D, And so the only way for us to really heal that is to move beyond 3D and to go inward and do that healing work, which would be very much like 4 and 5D, and eventually anchoring in 6D. So that's why it's important to keep your health in order so that you stay well. I personally don't believe that the virus is contractable through human contact. So that's my view on it. Whatever, you take it as. I need to speak my truth so that others can also do that, and hopefully it will ripple out. And also, when you don't take care of yourself, you move, there's like the red ants crawling at me and flies. If you don't do the work, then essentially you end up being more fear-based. And when you're more fear-based, your immune system is more weak. And when your immune system is weak, you're more likely to contract it. I think it may be airborne. I think it may, it could be even like a chemtrail thing. I've definitely heard stuff about that. Or it could just be in the entire, it could be in the air. Heather from Activation Vibration mentions like kind of a cool perspective. Basically talking about, the transition between 5G, and then I kind of added 5G to 5D, essentially talking about integrating this energy instead of letting it rule us. And I'm not sure if that's what we'll do. It seems like it. And that's probably for another video, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So I feel like that's the other pieces of the puzzle that weren't in the rest of the video. So much love.